I want to talk about Warrior and what I wish that they would have done. They mentioned in the live letter that they weren't going to make the game harder, right? They're not going to go back to like 3.x series. They're going to keep it at like, 5.x or whatever. They're going to keep it as Shadowbringers. So I'm going to talk about what I was wanting to change. There's not very much stuff that I would change from Endwalker Warrior. I think Endwalker Warrior looks really, really fucking good. There is a couple things though. I'm not a fan of this move right here. I think this is just filler. The fact that it shares a cooldown with Upheaval, I think this is just filler. It's not even a DPS gain unless you have 3 targets, which I think is stupid. Plus the animation's dumb. I don't know how I feel about this ability. I wish that Upheaval just would have been upgraded to like Spirits Within did. So this is one ability that I'm not a fan of. I just kind of wish we would have got something better, or maybe like another defensive. I honestly would rather have almost anything else than this. So this is one problem. Like, I think this move is just very unnecessary. Onslaught being 3 charge, so Warrior went from having no gap closer to the most. Well, not no gap closer, but you know what I mean. No spammable gap closer to the most. I'm not a fan of gap closers having potency, as many of you know. I don't think utility abilities should have potency, so the fact we're going to be spamming this is kind of Papega, but whatever. At least it doesn't cost rage anymore, I guess. Yeah, so these are a couple issues that I have. Not really huge issues, of course, just a couple. The biggest issue I have is this, actually. Please, for the love of fuck, this action cannot be assigned to a hotbar. This is bad. You need to be able to assign Inner Chaos to a hotbar. I've mentioned this before, and a lot of people don't understand why. The reason why is because you cannot infuriate while under Inner Release. Because if you do that and you use Inner Chaos, it takes a stack of Inner Release, which is bad. So basically, level 70 Warrior is still gonna play smoother than level 80 Warrior and level 90 Warrior. There is no reason that you should not be able to bind this to your hotbar. You should be able to use Infuriate under Inner Release. This is an unnecessary problem, and this should be changed. They either need to make it to where you can bind it to your hotbar, or alternatively, they need to say this: stacks of Inner Release are not consumed upon execution. This right here needs to be on this. Basically, Inner Chaos should not take a stack of Inner Release. If they change that, Warrior would be much more fluid. Why is it important to Infuriate under IR? It's not necessarily that it's important, it's to give you the option to. It's to make it less clunky. Basically, there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to Infuriate under Inner Release. I think that they tried to make this upgrade your Fell Cleave into Inner Chaos to avoid ability bloat, but Warrior doesn't have that many abilities in the first place. Inner Chaos removing stacks from your Inner Release is just fucking stupid. And it's clunky for no reason. Like, there's no reason why it should be that clunky. You should just be able to either keybind this, or you should make Inner Chaos not consume stacks of Inner Release. This is Warrior's biggest problem, and it really needs to be changed. They need to be looked at. There is no good reason why you cannot bind Inner Chaos to your hotbar, or there's no good reason why Inner Chaos should take stacks of Inner Release. Since IR is only 3 Fell Cleaves now, that's less of an issue. I mean, barely. But you're missing the point. It's the principle of the matter. You have to ask yourself, why is it like that? And there is no reason other than it's clunky just for the sake of being clunky. That's honestly pretty much the only things that my issues are. I love the Inner Release change. I think it's fucking awesome. This more quality of life, but still it's awesome. I actually do like the Upheaval change to where it's not tied to your Inner Release anymore. And the reason why was because Upheaval was clunky, because sometimes you would be able to get 2 usages in, but you couldn't because you're forced to hold it for Inner Release. So this is good that this is off the Inner Release now. I want to talk about what I think they should have done. They're never going to do this, but they could have done an entire Warrior rework with very minimal effort. They should have changed Inner Release to be damage. They should have made it like, I don't know, 10 seconds of like 30% damage or some shit like that. I don't know. Basically, what I wish that they would have done is completely remove the cheesy crit direct hit. Like, I don't like Warrior as the crit direct hit tank. I think it's dumb because now you have to have separate melds. I think that's a big part of why Warrior is like the least played tank, is because people don't want to fuck with melds. So in this case, I wish that this would have been like 30% damage, That way you can even keep Inner Chaos the same if you want. And it basically means that you have two different buffs you have to manage. You have your Inner Release buff on top of your Infuriate. So now these things work closer together. So now there's a little bit more work you have to do. Because if you want to maximize your Inner Release damage, you have to use Inner Chaos during Inner Release. The way they have it is you're not supposed to use Inner Chaos during Inner Release because it's a huge damage loss. With my change, you would use Inner Chaos during Inner Release, and it would be a damage gain on top of making the job more intricate. It would make the job more interesting in my opinion. However, they're never going to do that, and that's fine. I'm just suggesting things that I personally would want. That's fine. You know, you'd have to change potencies and shit and all that because it's not crit direct hit anymore. It's base off damage. But I think that it would be much better if they did it this way. It would make the job more fun. It would also make the job to where you could meld the same for other jobs too. Here is one issue going into Endwalker that I wish they would have changed. Storm's Eye. This ability right here should be a trait. For those of you that think that keeping Storm's Eye is up and managing your buff adds any type of intricacy or difficulty to the class, I think your brain is damaged. I think you're stupid. I think you're an idiot. Storm's Eye upkeep is not difficult. It is not intricate. It is not interesting. Even if you drop this, it's not even that punishing. This is literally just tedious, just for the sake of being tedious. Why are they going to make Blood of the Dragon a trait when they're not going to make Storm's Eye a trait? Storm's Eye is basically a fucking trait anyway. So here's my suggested change. I think that they get rid of this fucking move and they bring back Butcher's Block, and they could make, I don't know, so that way you would rotate Storm's Path and Butcher's Block or something, you know? Maybe when you did a Storm's Path combo, you get a stack of like Butcher's Block, which would unlock the Butcher Block combo or something like that. Or maybe Butcher's Block combo could be kind of like an ammo combo or something. You get it like every 30 seconds and you use Rage on it or something. I don't know. So just to recap, these are some issues that I have going into Endwalker. I think that Storm's Eye should be a trait. I really think that they should have had Storm's Path mixed with another combo, possibly Butcher's Block. So then that way Storm's Path would function like Solid Barrel and Butcher's Block combo would function like ammo combo. I think that'd be kind of cool, man. But just without continuation, because continuation gargles balls. You could also make it 30 seconds so that you could do your Butcher's Block combo inside of Inner Release. So that's 3 GCDs. And then you have 2 Inner Chaos. So that's 4 or 5. So I don't know, make Inner Release last 10 seconds or 15 seconds. I don't know, however you want to do it. But that would be really cool, right? I think that would be really fucking cool. But the biggest change, the absolute biggest change, please, Square Enix, please, for the love of God, make this so you can assign to a hotbar. Or make this stacks of Inner Release are not consumed upon execution. Please do one of these things. Level 70 Warrior is still going to play better, is still going to play smoother than level 80 and level 90 Warrior in the DPS fashion, because you never have to worry about using Inner Chaos during Inner Release, and you can pre-pull Inner Release. You can use Inner Release at like 10 seconds on the countdown, and I think that's awesome. So hopefully they fix this, please. But besides that, man, I think Warrior looks really fucking solid. Warrior doesn't really have any issues, man. It's really good. It looks really good.